Hello, and welcome back to yet another episode of Electricpreneur Secrets, episode 252, where we're going to cover some objection skills to pay the bills. We're going to keep this short, sweet, simple as possible, but it's going to help you massively in this $1 Million Launch Series, as it's going to help us break through the $1 million mark sustainably in our first year. This is how we would do it. I am your host, Clay Newmeyer. With me, as always, my esteemed co-host, Joseph Lucani, and we are the Electricpreneurs. Just a couple of master electricians with business addictions here and ready to serve. Welcome to your free daily freemium coach call. I said free twice there for some reason, but welcome.
Twice
the
is just as
admission.
nice.
Yeah, twice. The cost for this, sit back in the hot seat, take everything we give, just promise to take action, you guys, as we're here to help you master your sales, simplify your pricing, and deliver premium level electrical service. If you want to see this live, join us on the Facebook Electricpreneur Secrets group, where you can join in, comment. We're going to comment back, reply, get all the value pieces that we offer here today. In fact, we've got some great stuff to offer. Joseph, how the hell are you, my friend?
I'm feeling a lot better. It's one of those things where I'm pretty rough the past few days mentally and emotionally, but it's starting to really start to click together. Faith has been a phenomenal thing to guide me back in. My wife has been wonderful. You've been wonderful, so I'm very grateful to be where I am. And I'm grateful that I can continue blessing others through the knowledge we have.
Appreciate it, man. I feel
What
the
about you?
same
How you
way.
holding up?
Yeah, feeling the same way. It's a big movement. We're finishing up and closing out January already. I can't believe we're going into month 2 of 2024. I feel like I'm still writing and typing 2023 on half of the shit I do. So we're going to get that fixed, but not before jumping into some objections here today. Excuse me, I just about choked on this mic. The last 2 episodes, we've been talking about converting at a premium level, presentation success, especially with the partners, dealing with some anxiety. I'm still choking partly, forgive me. And today we're following this up. But what we just talked through really was what we call a 2-call close, which is something that we utilize on opportunity calls. I know for one, we're already going to see some objections out there, people listening thinking, why the hell would you go back again? And there's some really good feedback that I want to encourage from you, and then even go into a pre-objection to that process, if we could, with a client where maybe they don't want you to do a second visit and presentation live. That sound fair? So first question, why the hell would we go back? And by the way, like, not charging for this. We do this free?
Yeah. So this is actually a massive benefit to the customer, but it's also significantly more effective and efficient for us. So if you follow the logistics of things, think about how much it costs to acquire the lead. Like, you literally had to say the lead had to come in, you had to pay for it. Your CSR had to answer for it. You had to dispatch over and go over there. So right now your costs are already sank in this particular investment. And the only way you actually get a return on your investment is if they buy. So would it make sense that the best way to recoup the previous investments is to capitalize as much as possible on the call you're already on?
I agree with you.
Okay.
I know there's a pool of people out there that are thinking, well, I'll just qualify them over the phone. And we've spoke to this in the podcast before. I'll qualify them using price over the phone. Then I'll get to know if they're a serious buyer or not.
That's the thing, is that people think you can call over the phone, and I'm guilty of it as well. I used to do that. The concern is that the only real metrics of qualification is price. And there are times that I've gone into homes where I'm like, there's no way they got $500 and they're putting $35,000 down. Or one of my favorite calls where I was called out for 2 GFIs. And if I had price conditioned it, it would have been like, well, listen, how much does it cost to change 2 GFIs? I don't know. How much should it cost? A couple $100? But we ended up doing, once again, another high $30,000 job where it ended up being a rewire and multiple Tesla installations. You don't know. You don't know what opportunities are there. So the only thing you're qualifying is your preconceived notions of who can buy your services. Not who can, who you think can buy your services. And that's an extremely limiting thought.
That's a problem for sure. And I've been known, people have seen us say this online, like, go ahead and pre-qualify with prices. Our electricpreneurs are going to follow that up and close 80% of those with one of the 6 options that they're offering, from the finest money could buy to that most economical that they could provide. And if you're providing that choice for everyone,
Mm-hmm.
right, what are the chances that 80% are going to convert, even in those situations where someone else disqualified? In fact, the $35,000 example you mentioned likely was disqualified by someone else.
It very likely was. In fact, they actually told me that they had someone else that wanted to come out and do jobs for them. It was I mean, one of the only female electricians I knew in my area. But from what I understand, she was supposed to go and quote on this, but it was too small of a job, and said, "Give me a call when you've got other things going on, and I'll take care of it all at once."
Oof, what an oversight.
And instead, they called someone else, and I came in and we were changing panels and we were putting in new lighting and we were adding a new circuit. And it was a great job with long lifetime continuous work with them. Like, I'd say we easily got the 6 figures with them over time. So the
Mm,
fact was, is that those 2 GFIs that would have been disqualified actually qualified me in. Now, there's one last thing, and I know we're speed running this thing. The other day we talked about an endurance race,
yeah.
right? Now, when you're getting ready to run long distance, you know you've got to keep a pace and you've got to keep going. But when you're on that final lap and you're towards the finish line, gas is out of the tank, you're going. Like, I'm just like, everything I've got, I'm sprinting out to this finish line.
Yeah.
When would it be best to get into a sprint? When you're able to take a step back and rest, or after running 2, 3 miles already? It's when
I
you
th-
get that rest, right?
yeah.
You're going to be more effective. So 2 factors are being considered. One, you're probably doing a diagnostic or an opportunity call, meaning you've been there for about an hour to an hour and a half. You've bonded, you've connected, you've evaluated. Now you're going to have to design the solutions, which for some people can take as much as 30 minutes. So now you're 2 hours in. Then you're getting ready to go to a presentation. The presentation, in some situations, if you really want to stretch it, could be an hour and a half.
Mm,
So now you're in this customer's home for 4 hours. What are the odds that they've got the attention span for 4 hours?
not likely.
Not likely. So you taking a step back actually benefits them because they're able to prevent information overload. Like, man, Joe seemed like a really nice guy. I wonder what he was saying. He made some weird noises when he was looking at the panel. Whatever. We'll talk to him when he gets back to it. And then come back, lights flicker. Man, I can't wait to figure out what he said when he's coming back. And now I show back and I'm going through all the pre-qualification questions. Has anything changed? What new is exciting? Talking to your spouse, has anything changed here? Are our needs the same? So now I have 2 fresh people. I'm fresh. My presentation has been mentally rehearsed. I was an anal person. I rehearsed every presentation before I did them.
Mm,
And then now I'm in presentation with someone with fresh ears. I am far more likely to get that call because the right presentation to the right people at the right time equals a sale.
nice.
So even if I had all the information right and I was doing a one-legger call, it would make sense that they'd say email it over. But in this situation, we can handle the email it over.
Yeah. I like to look at this like I'm trying to get to the value price objection.
Yes.
To me, when I get that on a call, I'm like, hey, we're in the right place because I am at a premium. It means they're really considering us and everything that we have to offer here. And it likely means that what they want is above the budget that they had set expectations around. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the perfect place to be. In fact, I would encourage everyone to get comfortable in that place because as a premium service provider, we should just assume we're going to meet that place many times every week. If you got great at that, what would stop you then? And that's what we're talking about today. So let me back up a moment and ask you this then. For the clients that simply just want a piece of paper with a number on it so they can make their own decision without you, that was the
Mm-hmm.
expectation they have. And they really
Mm-hmm.
don't want to oblige a second presentation or a second visit in
Mm-hmm.
person anyway. What do you say to them, Joe? That's sort of pre-objection to your
Yeah.
process in the first place.
So it depends on their reasoning. Like if they were to say, well, I am someone who's completely out of state and I am a doctor who works multiple 12-hour shifts and I'm always on call. And there are considerations we can make, such as I'm going to have an in-person with one and I'm going to have a phone with another, or I'm going to have a Zoom presentation with both people. Like those are options to consider. But at the same time, if someone's truly so busy Do they want the thing or do they not want the thing?
Mm.
Like, you called me for a service that you're going to provide. Is it wrong of me to want to make sure that I can be sure you're here so that if you have any questions, I can walk you through exactly what I'm seeing, how I'm seeing it, and describe it in ways that you'll understand? Otherwise, I give you a piece of paper with all my engineering notes. You, as a doctor, now need to translate and become an electrician, or get outside help, or follow up with me again for clarification. For the sake of all of our times, would it be wrong of me to want to make sure we're doing it all together?
No, not wrong of you, Joe. We do have a busy schedule, and really didn't expect to have another visit with you.
I completely understand. So if you don't mind me asking, no matter what I was going to offer you today, is it safe to say, like, we were just looking into this? There was no checks out. We weren't looking to do this today, right?
That's right.
All right, perfect. Well, that actually works out perfect because my goal is to make sure I'm giving you the best pricing possible. And it's going to be anywhere from an hour to hour and a half for me to sit down and do these designs. And the last thing I ever want to do is disrespect your time just sitting there watching me work. Is it wrong of me to want to get this together and then physically explain it to you?
Not wrong of you. What do you say though? Could you just get it together and send it over?
That would definitely make my job so much easier. And I appreciate you even voicing that. But can I ask you a question?
Sure.
If we're going by email and I'm sending 6 engineered documents over, is it going to be the easiest thing to follow? Or you think it's possible that there's going to be some questions that come up with it?
No, could be some questions. Also more than I
Okay.
expected.
Yeah. It's a most times when people email a choice over, it's because it's one choice and it's already broken down to such an extent that you can see every wire, screw, and switch. What we do is we focus more on the emotional experience you're going to get from this. So I've designed choices from truly the most Rolls Royce way of getting it done, finest, turnkey, professional, and permanent, all the way down to the opposite side, which this is the most unpermitted, look the other way. It's basic and barely minimum standard, but you'd at least understand what you're getting for it. The reason why we want to come back is so that you have that understanding. Additionally, there's only 3 outcomes to this call. Either A, you love what I have and you're in a position that we don't have to waste more of your time having to come back to do our pictures, deposits, and paperwork. 2, you'd have questions on what we're talking about, which is great because I'm in person right in front of your system to ask them, answer them. Or C, I'm just not the right fit for what you're looking for. And if I'm not the right fit, then you can simply cancel this appointment and we'll give it to someone who really needs it or wants it. So once again, would you like me to set a tentative appointment to come back to discuss this with you and Marielle?
Okay, man. Sounds fair. Do you have any times at XYZ? We're going to pull out a role play on that one just because
Mhm.
the time, but also that fed right into, I noticed a email objection handle that we're going to tie into here in a moment
Mhm.
anyways. So everything you did and what we got to seemed like, did we get to a little pull there actually at the end?
So it was because it was along the lines of like, I'd love to stay and help you. If this is not something you're interested in, then we can gladly part as friends and I'll give that appointment to someone who really needs it or wants it.
Right, right.
So it's
So,
the a thought of saying like, I have other people who could use and want my time.
mm,
And if you're not interested in that, I won't have any feelings. We'll part as friends and I'll just serve someone who really needs that.
and that serves us too because now we're not going to fight for an appointment that doesn't belong. So that
Mhm.
poll, that's why I brought attention to that. It feels very important to make sure that again they have a voluntary commitment to say, no, look, you're still in the right place. Let's do this. I'm interested.
Mhm. Exactly.
Love that, man. Okay, so let's say we got through that. We got to the second call or present to the partners. There's a few concerns, and these ones are really common. And some people get it right. Some people hit it out of the park once in a while.
Mhm.
Many people struggle with these first couple, though. The first one, let's just get it out of the way. The email it over. We just discussed some of that.
Mhm.
Joe, love that you came back. Presentation's wonderful, man. Listen, we're going to need some time to think about this still. Do you think you could just email a copy of this over and we could discuss that and get back to you?
I'd be happy to help you with that. So Clay, which of these options are you looking to have emailed over?
Well, I was really hoping I could just get all of them.
Okay. And that's definitely something to be taken into consideration. But can I
Mhm.
ask you a question?
Sure.
We design choices. I'm a little confused here, so please help me out.
Okay.
We design choices from like literally the absolute most finest we can do. Like we're talking about a full gut rewire renovation, serious ticket on that. All the way to the bottom end of the spectrum of finding the old ULS breaker and swapping it out, even though we know it's probably not the best thing to do. Do you mean to tell me that every single one of these levels is equally considered at this point?
Well, no, you got me there, man. I think the bottom is definitely, not enough. I don't think we even feel safe with that. We
Okay.
want something more. We're just kind of in the middle on where that is. And I think it's fair to say, the top is more than we want to spend for sure.
Okay. So how about we do this? Let's start eliminating, but you mentioned the bottom wasn't the right fit. So let's get rid of that one. And also the top one, is it safe to say it's too much of a premium investment at this time?
Yeah, we really didn't expect to spend $16,000
Oh,
today.
no worries. Well, at this, remember earlier, I said you probably weren't going to like that anyway because of what it's going to cost. So you're not hurting my feelings. Let's get rid of that one too. Now there were four options. When it comes to taking care of things, when it comes to quality, reliability, or safety of your home and family, do you usually do things more premium, more mid-range, or more economy?
You know what, Joe? I hate to say it, but I'm a deal shopper. I love to see where the value is for the price point, and that's usually where I put my bets.
Okay. So based on these, where do you feel the most value is?
It's really between probably bronze and gold, so somewhere in those three options.
Okay. Somewhere between bronze and gold. Okay. So let's take a look at that. Let's dig into that a little bit further. What was it you liked about gold?
And of course, we don't have a specific situation here, but XYZ really enjoyed that. Again, the price is a little more than what we expected to pay. But I can see why you put it there, and I appreciate how you presented it.
Yeah. Well, if the price is more than what you're considering, why don't we remove that option too?
It's just that we do like the Z factor there.
Okay. So why do you like that so much? Why not consider going down?
It seems important both to our safety, but also just the convenience of using this system.
I agree. And additionally, it also still has the electronic safety system that protects everything. So with all that being concerned, how would you like to proceed?
I guess we're kind of between silver and gold, aren't we?
Well, it's only you can decide that. Is that where you feel like you're at?
I do. I do.
Okay. So let me help you through this. So is it really that we're not sure which of these we're doing, or we're not sure if we're doing any of these?
No, I think we definitely want to go with you, Joe. Just
Mhm,
we were hoping that we'd have a bit of time with these options to really
mhm.
talk through that.
That makes complete sense. And I have a way that I think I can help you without any pressure.
Okay.
So we're torn between the gold and the silver. My recommendation is going to sound opposite of someone who does any sales, is that I'm going to recommend we go with the more economical package. What we can do is we can start with the silver. The reason being is I can start the permitting, I can start ordering the materials that's necessary, coordinating with the additional contractors, pulling any utility contacts. At the same time, you'll have 2 weeks to decide whether you want to upgrade to the next level up. But you know you'd have a date on the calendar, you know that all the material and everything would be set into place and the ball's in motion. And then if you choose to upgrade, I'll give you a call a week in advance and we can take it from there. So that being said, how would you like to proceed?
Well, man, really accommodating. I like that. Appreciate you.
Okay. But how would you like to proceed?
Let's go with silver.
All right. Awesome. Now, there are some cheaper options. There were more economical options at the bottom. You didn't even look at those. Are you sure you don't want to rule those out?
Yeah, I mean, we did kind of cross the bottom one out. We didn't really revisit bronze, but again, some of the features of gold there we just couldn't ignore.
Okay.
So I think I like where we ended up between silver and gold.
Okay. Wonderful. So we'll start with the silver. And then the benefit is that I'm also going to put this on the calendar that we're going to talk about an upgrade option. If you choose to keep where you're at, no worries. If you choose to upgrade, it's only the difference between the two of them.
Mm, love it, man. Thank you.
My pleasure. That's a nice role play right
I'm
off the
gonna I'm
cuff,
gonna
right?
jump out of this for a moment, and I forget that there's like dual levels because we're role playing on a podcast. But I want to talk about the feeling I had and what you did for a moment, if that's all right.
Sure. Go for it.
I had a feeling several times that we were done or ready to be done in that role play, and I admire how you kept going and making sure it was a full voluntary commitment and that I was making the decision without being pushy, if that makes sense.
That's the 100% goal of what we do. And I thank you so much for picking up on it because all of us hate salespeople. We love good salespeople, but the industry standard is that you're some slimy dude flipping a nickel trying to move deals. And if we're going to do it this way, it has to be something that benefits them and that they choose it. So there's no buyer's remorse and there's no bad reviews.
Hmm. Yeah, really good, man. So we got just enough time to cover another big one, and that
Sure.
was the pricing, and it's what we led into earlier.
Nice.
Value price objection, as we call it. There's a value piece on this, guys. So if you want to comment the value price objection anywhere on this live, you can send that to us in the contact sheet on our website, serviceloopelectrical.com. Price going to be similar. This time I'm going to take the most basic option,
Mhm.
and I'm going to have a problem with that 1 hour charge.
Sure. Let's go for it.
Okay. So Joe, everything is definitely more than we had imagined. I appreciate
Mhm.
the options and everything, man. It's a lot of effort. You came back, you did this whole thing, but you know, honestly, and I guess if we're 1 hour, sorry, I messed that up. This is going to be probably a demand call, really, if it's a
Yeah.
1 hour. So I appreciate that you spent the time, you made the options, you stuck here with me through this. I mean, we spent, you know, this hour plus together, but
Mhm.
this really feels more than I expected here today, Joe.
Mhm. And you know what, Clay? I completely understand where you're coming from because that's something that we hear every now and then. Being a premium service provider, it comes hand in hand with knowing that you're not going to charge the same as like a handyman or as a semi-pro. That being said, would you like to know why so many of our customers still choose to use us even though they know we're more?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Then from there, we would lead in any specific thing that makes us different. Whether it's we always offer the lifetime craftsmanship guarantee, meaning we always provide a fully turnkey experience, meaning that we always offer the financeability of everything we do, meaning you're always having a licensed electrician in your home who's personally background checked and drug tested and all that. It could be anything that makes it could be you serve the church on the weekends. It doesn't matter. The thing that makes you unique, you bring to the customer's attention because you're not selling the service. It's not $300 for the outlet change they're not getting. It's why are you worth $300?
Mm, and choosing to
That's
have
the
the
shift
experience
that
with
needs
us.
to happen. Additionally, when we talk about the concern there, is there's even a bottom way out of it. So let's say our bare minimum charge with our one hourly minimum is $389 for our GFI changeout.
Yeah.
A lot of people might be like, not going to get that in my area. We have a fail safe for that as well.
Mm,
The fail safe is the first class membership.
yeah.
Because what someone would say is, you know what, I want this done. I want to work with you guys. Seem great, but this just seems more than what I can swing. Well, Clay, I completely understand where you're coming from. And I do normally this is where we'd be parting as friends, but I do really feel that there's one other area that I can help you with. Can I take 2 more minutes and explain how I think I can help?
Sure.
What we do is we actually offer an in-house club membership where you get multiple benefits just by having us do small projects for you.
Hmm.
What that sounds like is you'd get priority status. You call me for anything right to the front of the line. You have after hours emergency service, meaning that if anything happens after hours, we take care of you as well. Diagnostics, no matter what they involve, are completely covered for an entire year. Meaning, like the thing that we did today, where we were looking at this would have been no charge for us to come out. Additionally, we do a total home electrical safety evaluation where we give you a clean bill of health as if we were a doctor, evaluating your electrical system, and we'll let you know what would likely happen within the next 5 to 10 years so you can retroactively take control over it. Now, how that benefits you here is remember, we say that diagnostics are included. So, what we would do is we'd sign you up for our club membership, and this call would then be waived. And I'd be happy to take care of that while I'm here as a bonus of being in our membership. The membership itself is only 412, a little bit more than what you were thinking, but at the same time gets it done and also gives you countless other benefits you can take advantage of over the year. So with that being said, how would you like to proceed?
Yeah, it's a really nice touch. I love how instead of discounting price or even arguing with
Mm-hmm.
yourself or others about price, you added value and in fact increased the investment to your business,
Mm-hmm.
which the value is fine. I mean, it reminds me of the Starbucks app, right? How many people use
Mm-hmm.
the Starbucks app? And then how many people actually take their good hard-earned money and put money into their Starbucks wallet? You realize that Starbucks floating $1 billion interest-free loan from all of their patrons worldwide. And that's the kind of thing a club membership does, because what you're going to do in that annual inspection is come back and find more and offer again and create more business again. So I really like the way you handled that. This one's getting a bit long, so why don't we crank out a couple of action items quick for people and
Sure.
sign off of this?
I'd be happy to. Would you like basic or all-star?
You know what? I'm going to
I
take
can
the
take them both
basic.
if you prefer.
I'm going to take the basic today. And I
Okay,
already
go
kind
for
of
it.
said it before, and it's a really important realization, and it's something that actually ties directly into what Dorian said on his interview with us. And what we were talking about is how using organics, using the different lead strategies, he was able to fill his calendar up, but in the voids that we're experiencing, we were going to go against the grain in an effort to actually enhance our value price objections and work on those more and more and get more comfortable. So we were actually going to more Angie leads, other lead aggregating services where people say it's all tire kickers. And that proves our service, but it also proves and improves our ability to speak to that. And so rather than fearing it like it's, hopefully not going to come and hopefully they don't bat an eye, and we all love that experience, but I would really encourage electricpreneurs to anticipate the value price objection, to focus on that. Because if you could truly offer 6 options and then answer to the value price objection and come to a clear future every time, how big would your business be then?
I mean, I can't see any limits there. I mean, you're at the right company with the right amount of fuel. Sky's the limit.
And so that's the basic. I know that's heavy, but embracing these couple objections that we've covered today and being able to hold to STYO, stick to your offer, I think is massive, Joe. What do you got for an all-star for us, brother?
The all-star action is going to sound a little counterintuitive, but the all-star action is actually, I want you to chase a no. I want you to genuinely try to get the customer to tell you, no, I don't want that. The reason being is that very rarely will someone tell you no. They'll tell you things that you equate to no, but they are not actually no's. It'll sound like things like, yeah, I'm really not sure what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to get back on you on this. Yeah, this is definitely more than what we're going to do. I'm probably just going to have to go somewhere else. Probably. Might have to go somewhere else. Well, if I wasn't the right fit, why wouldn't you be certainly going with someone else? There are certain words where if you pick them up, you realize that they're not telling you no. They're making usually a defeated statement or trying to have one last ditch of you saying like, hey man, I want to work with you. Is there nothing you can do here? So recognize that your clients aren't always telling you no. And if you try to pursue a no, you'll find that you have enough staying power in the game to actually get a yes.
Love it, man. This has been episode 252 of Electricpreneur Secrets, Objection Skills to Pay the Bills. We'll be back with more of this $1 Million Launch series tomorrow. Have a good day.
Y'all be well.